Okay, these notes are naming ionic compounds with polyatomic ions. This can get a little complicated at times, so I'm going to save the hard part to the end and do the easy part in the beginning. Okay, we have two different molecules here. One's KCl and one's KClO. Now, KCl has a K and then a Cl. So this is binary. There's two elements here. We know how to name this. Okay, this is potassium chloride. Now, in order to tell whether you're going to be naming it like you would with two elements or naming the polyatomic ion, you have to see how many elements are in there. If there are more than two, like here, there's K, there's Cl, and then there's O. So that's three elements. So because there's more than two elements, we know that it contains a polyatomic ion. Okay, so this is potassium. We know K is potassium. And when you look on your polyatomic ion sheet, KClO is actually hypochlorite. So hypochlorite. So this is potassium hypochlorite. Now sometimes you might end up having a whole bunch of different elements. And in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different elements. Well, we definitely know there's at least one polyatomic here. Now, if we started out calling this by nitrogen and then trying to, there's no H4NO3, okay? If it starts with nitrogen, okay, that means it's ammonium, okay? Most of these ionic compounds will start with a metal. Nitrogen is not a metal. Not a metal. So that means it has to equal ammonium. Oops, I spelled ammonium wrong. Okay, so this is ammonium. And this is nitrate. So this is ammonium nitrate. Okay? Okay. Now, if there's parentheses, obviously there's a polyatomic. Now we can ignore the little numbers. We don't have to worry about them. So this one here is calcium phosphate. Okay, so it's pretty easy, calcium phosphate. And then we have sodium hydroxide. And then we have, oops, and this is hydrogen, hang on a second, hydrogen peroxide. Now I know it's not water because water is H2O. There's an H2O2, and the O2 here is peroxide, okay? Okay, now the next example contains two elements that are type 2 metals. Okay, type 2 we have to put the Roman numeral and you have to figure out the charge. Well, when there's parentheses around the polyatomic ion, it's extremely easy. In fact, it's this number here. So this is the charge on the metal because that's what we cross back up. So in this case, this is going to be copper 2, and then NO3 is nitrate. Okay? Same with here. This is your charge on the metal here. So this is going to be vanadium 5 phosphate. So anytime you have parentheses, it's extremely easy. It's when we don't have parentheses, things get a little tricky. Okay, let's look at these two. Now there's no parentheses. So when you see no parentheses, do not use that 3. That's not it. This is NO3, and it has a -1 charge. That means the copper is going to have a +1 charge. So this is copper 1 nitrate. So whenever you have no parentheses around a polyatomic ion, you need to find the charge on the polyatomic ion. SO4 here has a -2. That means iron has a +2. So that means this is iron 2 sulfate. And we will practice more of this in class. I'll do another warm-up. And yes, you'll get a chance to win a few more science books. But we'll practice a few more in class tomorrow. Okay? So you guys have a good night. Bye.